I'd like to take you back in time to March 1783. America is still engaged in a Revolutionary War that's not yet over, and the entire Continental Army is encamped at headquarters, and they are ticked off. Why are they ticked off? Namely, because they have not been paid yet. They haven't been paid because Congress has not gotten off of its fat aspirations and figured out how to get them money. Never mind that Congress's daughters are learning how to do pottery classes and learning horseback riding, and their boys are going off to boarding schools. Still, the Revolutionary Army, the army that has been fighting for this freedom in America, has not been paid, and they're mad. Now, a lot of the men in the army are writing letters about it, circulating them among the barracks and the bunkhouses, and they're reading them aloud to each other. And these letters say things like, if this is how they treat us when we've got guns drawn in wartime, how do you think they're going to treat us during peacetime? Washington's officers, they were getting so mad that they devised a meeting without General Washington's knowledge. They were going to meet in secret. His men, his officers, and these people were talking about a full-scale mutiny. All of the letters circulating around the camp, they were suggesting full-scale mutiny. They were going to march into Washington, they were going to get their money, and they were going to quit fighting. This was a bad, bad thing. General Washington heard about it, and he was vexed. He showed up to the secret meeting unannounced, and he got in there where his officers were, and he walked down the center aisle. And they say that he looked a lot older than he used to. He was 50 at the time. But remember, back in those days, in the late 1700s, 50 was old. Men were dying at age 40, usually between 40 and 55. He walked down the aisle looking more gray and bent and old than he had before. And his men looked at him. And Washington opened up a 9-page speech to read, and he read a speech before them, and it was doing no good. They were not convinced that they shouldn't enact full mutiny. And so he opened up another speech to read, and he was about to read this. They weren't having it. They just were not listening to General Washington. And General Washington did something that would go down in history and probably changed the fate of our nation. And it was an off-the-cuff move, an off-the-cuff remark that he made. He dug into his pocket, and he removed his wire spectacles, and he said, just offhand, he said, I'm sorry, if you'll pardon me, gentlemen, I've gone nearly blind in service of my country. And he puts the spectacles on, and as he does that, they say you can hear sniffing noses in the room, and men are crying because they're watching their general, their hero, put on these old man glasses. And they've never seen him so human before, and they realize all that General Washington gave while he was on the battlefield, just like they did. They changed their tune completely. They agreed to keep working without a paycheck, and Washington kept fighting for them to get them remunerated. And that changed the tide of America, which I just think is marvelous. I'm going to play 2 songs for you. I'm going to play one song, which they say is the longest running song played by the U.S. Army. And I'm going to play another song, which I believe you'll know. Father and I went down to camp along with Captain Gooding, and there we saw the men and boys as thick as hasty pudding. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step and let the girls be handy. And there was Captain Washington and gentle folks about him. They say he's grown so tarnal proud they will not ride without him. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step and with the girls be handy. got him on his meeting clothes upon a slapping stallion. He sat along the world in rows, in hundreds and in millions. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy.